Grief, one day at a time. 365 Meditations to Help You Heal After Loss by Alan D. Wolfett, PhD. June 24th. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only a page. St. Augustine. Traveling while in deep grief is not the same experience as traveling at other times. We should not fool ourselves into thinking that we can leave our grief behind and have fun. No, our grief lives inside us and we take it with us wherever we go. But travel can sometimes help us on our journey through grief. Going somewhere picturesque and peaceful can provide a healing backdrop in which to embrace our pain. A new locale can also help us see things with a new perspective. What's more, other cultures handle grief and loss differently. We might meet new people who turn out to be transformative companions in our journey. We needn't go somewhere exotic or far flung, though, to reap the benefits of travel. If our budgets are tight and our time, we can simply visit places in our own communities we have never been before, or take a drive an hour or two away. The point is to take our grief somewhere new and see what the motion of travel can do to help us embrace and soften it. The meditation reads, I think I'll take my grief somewhere it's never been today. June 25th. You are loved, and your purpose is to love. A quote from Marianne Williamson. In grief, we realize that this is the catch-22 of life. Love is the most joyous and meaningful experience there is. Love gives our lives purpose, but love's conjoined twin is grief. If we love, we will eventually grieve. So, what is there to do but continue loving? When we express our ongoing love for the person who died, we are mourning and moving toward healing. When we embrace the love of others, we are accepting the balm of grace and healing. If we shun or hide ourselves from love, on the other hand, we are choosing to die while we are alive. Love, then, is not just the best answer, it is the only answer. The meditation reads, at every turn, I will try to remember that I am loved and that I am here to love. If I let love guide me, I will find my way to hope and healing. June 26th. Of the widow's countless death duties, there is really just one that matters. On the first anniversary of her husband's death, the widow should think, I kept myself alive. A quote from Joyce Carol Oates. The anniversary of the death can be so hard. We think about the day the person died, where we were, how it happened, how we found out, how we reacted, how others reacted. We can't help but relive the experience that so devastated our lives. Instead of trying to just keep busy on the anniversary of the death, maybe it would be better for us to honor it as a day of remembrance. We could take the day off work, cancel other commitments, and forego mundane tasks. We can visit the grave or scattering sight, look through photo albums, and spend the day in the company of others who miss our special person. It's a good day for ritual. Creating an anniversary date ritual gives us a structure for getting through the day. We can include poems, prayers, music, and other elements of ceremony if we'd like. Ritual has the power to transform chaos into transcendence, and especially in the early anniversary years, we can also simply appreciate the fact that we kept ourselves alive. The meditation reads, I can choose to honor the anniversary of the death and give it the time, attention, and structure befitting my love for the person who died. June 27th. Learn to say no to the good so you can say yes to the best. A quote from John C. Maxwell. To create time and space for grief and mourning, we often have to pare back. We need to offload commitments we no longer have the energy for. We have to clear our schedules of good but not critical optional activities. Right now, saying yes to the best means saying yes to mourning, because saying yes to mourning is actually saying yes to healing. It also means saying yes to others when they want to connect and support us. And it means saying yes to our children or others who need our presence and support. We need ample free time for all of those things. Eventually, we find that saying yes to mourning and good grief support leads to being ready to say yes to other people and activities we love or find meaningful. We say yes to grief today so that eventually we can wholeheartedly say yes to life again. The meditation reads, I can say no whenever I need to in order to say yes to grief, mourning, and healing. June 28th. If you cannot see where you are going, ask someone who has been there before. A quote from J. Lauren Norris. Millions of other grievers have walked this path before us. I've spoken with lots of them along the way. They want to let us know that we can and will survive this. We can't always see where we're going, but they've been there and they know. Sometimes it helps to have a grief mentor with whom we can meet and talk face to face. A person who has experienced a loss similar to ours is a good candidate, though more important than the particulars of the loss may be the griever's attitude, sense of hopefulness, and willingness to help. However, we should also be careful not to pair ourselves with someone who believes that grief and mourning must be done his way. A grief mentor should be a companion and example more than a teacher. I myself have turned to grief mentors at certain challenging, grief overloaded moments during my career as a grief counselor. Everyone needs one on one help sometimes. It's nothing to be ashamed of. The meditation reads, when I can't see where I'm going, I can ask someone who's been there before. June 29th. Be not afraid of going slowly. Be afraid only of standing still. A Chinese proverb. Our culture wants us to hurry up and get over it already. In this age of instant gratification, we are expected to start feeling better the week after the funeral. Come on, chop chop. In other arenas of our lives, though, we're learning to appreciate anew the slow pleasures, such as slow food, thoughtfully grown, locally sourced, and cooked from scratch, slow coffee, pour over and cold brew, and slowly parenting. No overbooked activity schedules, just simple time together. Earlier this year, I began to advocate for something I'm calling slow grief. The slow grief movement acknowledges that loss is as much part of the human experience as love. It recognizes that loss changes us forever and that grief is a normal, necessary, and yes, slow process. It also proclaims the need for people to express their grief and to be supported by their communities. And it asks us to look to the past to recapture the healing wisdom and customs we have almost lost, such as multi day funerals. Grief is slow. We mustn't be afraid of its slowness. We mustn't try to rush it. As long as we're putting our grief into motion through our active mourning, we're not standing still. And that's all that matters. The meditation reads, I'm not afraid of going slowly in grief. Healing is a naturally slow process. June 30th. There is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. A quote from John Holmes. As grievers, we need the help and support of others, but somewhere along the way, we will also be ready and able to give help and support to fellow travelers. The more we actively mourn and explore what truly helps us heal, the more equipped we become to help others. And the more we help others, the more we heal. When we feel ready, we can look for opportunities to be grief companions. Our new hard won awareness and understanding of grief and mourning should be gently shared. We can help transform our culture into one that embraces normal, necessary grief instead of avoids it. The meditation reads, if I am ready, I will reach out to help someone else who is grieving. I now know that a simple note, phone call, or conversation can mean so much. Please like, share, subscribe, and remember that in your grief journey, you are not alone.